Tell me when you're ready, when you're putting it on.
Okay.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're watching Real Change Podcast. Welcome to the last podcast of 2025. Wow, what a year! What a year. And so today's podcast is all about starting from beginning of 25 to the end of 25. So much has happened, and we've got two amazing guests. And of course, we've got the lovely Paula Fearn. And I have a little bit of a problem with my internet today. So I'm going to be off camera quite a lot of the time. This is just the way it is. So, yeah, connect the dots. It's National Community Week. And we want to showcase why community is so important because we believe it is the solution. And that's the topic today, the solution. Paula, over to you.
So what a year it's been. How have we got to this point already? It's like coming to the end of the year. And thinking about doing this podcast has led me to reflect on the year that we've had. It's been a roller coaster, an absolute roller coaster. I remember going into this year thinking this is the year that everything is going to change. And there have been changes and there have been developments and there's been so much good work, but there's still a lot that we have to do. And I think people, I'm working with clients directly at the moment that are suffering with loneliness, and that's still something that's not kind of tackled. So community is key. It's essential right now. Um, so yeah, how have things been for you guys, Lisa and Rachel?
Do you want to go first, Rachel?
No, I'll leave it to you first, Lisa. Go, go, go.
I just can't believe how quick this year has gone. I mean, we're still hanging on to 1 month. Let's not, write it off too quickly,
No.
because I've got loads to do before the new year. But it's been a crazy fast year. I think there's been lots going on. Well, there has for me and PHA. We've launched Connect the Dots. We've created National Community Week, which will be an annual weekly event. And, things are going from strength to strength. And I think community is key to everything that we do. If we really want to make change, and change is happening. Like you say, Paula, there's a lot more to come. But I think that if we want to be in control of that change, we have
Yeah.
to come together in our communities because we can't do it on our own. So it's the key. It's the key
I
for
think
me.
as well, people think that their little changes are not adding up to anything. I think
Absolutely.
sometimes people feel like, well, I'm going to do this a little bit differently now, but it's only me doing it. But I beg to differ on that because once you've got a little 1% of something that's happening, that adds and adds and adds and grows, and it just completes everything, doesn't it? It continues.
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
mean, people often say to me, I'm just one person, what can I do? And it starts with one thought, with one conversation, and the ripple effects are huge. So, we've got a great toolkit on our website under the Connect the Dots page, and it just gives people inspiring ideas of how simple it is just to get started. So we can talk about that later. But yeah, I just think this year has been really great. It's really started to inspire people, I think, and motivate people to make a commitment to their own communities. And we can just build on that and go from strength to strength, I think.
And just to put a point on that is it's been like say National Community Week. We kick-started on Monday with a community event, and that was basically pulled together very quickly with the people collaborating together, and that was a beautiful thing, is everyone coming together, and it was such a beautiful thing, and a feel good factor, and everybody wants the best for each other, That's what community is about, isn't it? And it's continued with all those small 1% of people all doing something. And that's what Connect the Dots is all about, actually, is that all those people doing little things makes one huge shift in the frequency, which we're all helping each other. Yeah. Rachel, tell us about your year.
Well, it's been quite remarkable because everything that you've been saying about community and small changes is exactly everything that we put together at Live for Energy and the Great Big Yawn. If you think about the yawn itself, it's the tiniest little action that's overlooked, underestimated, and undervalued. And yet, this year has been crazy with collecting yawns, which from a community point of view, when you put people in a room together and it becomes contagious, the compound interest effect of that really is huge. So putting small groups of people together over the space of 10 days with 32 schools in November, we had 5 to 7 minutes with each group, and they counted their own, and this is a minimum of sort of from 1,600 people that attended and went through very, very quickly over 2 weeks. We collected over 15,000 yawns within a 10-day period. So that small change that you were talking about, Paula, these tiny 1%, actually resulted in a group of children regulating their whole class in the space of a 10 to 15-minute period. And they didn't even realise what they were doing. We were just talking about yawning and having fun together. But because it was a safe space, they were just self-regulating in that safe space, which was totally inclusive.
Those small actions are not small. Let's rephrase it. Those small actions are not small.
They are huge. They are huge. And the biggest takeaway from that is the other agencies like the police, the alcohol team, the Talk, Listen, Learn team actually came to me and were commenting and saying, actually, this is quite remarkable because we're used to kids over the years coming in and bouncing into the room because it's such high energy that's going in. And we've noticed a remarkable difference in the children coming in from the Great Big Yawn. For one, they're still yawning, but they're actually more stable, contained, and receptive. So that tiny little action that we overlook is usually the most important thing. And that's basically what we do. We're looking at the social science, we're gathering the social science with everything that we do. And having so much fun because it's new, we're all learning together. I suppose.
And I think our young people as well need that sort of alternative way of being able to regulate, because we can't access traditional routes necessarily. I myself have had a lot of issues with my children and accessing traditional routes to mental health, to neurodivergence and different things. And there's no access. You're waiting. And the simple things like the yawn and the simple things like community and bringing people together, they teach our young people how to do things differently. And I think that's hugely important because they're the next generation.
Yeah. And it's also bringing in an immediate change because mind, body, spirit is connecting in less than 10 seconds, never mind a minute. It's connecting in less than 10 seconds. And because of that mirror effect of you witnessing somebody else yawning, and the first time you do that is in the womb, that is such a coming home feeling that you can't hide away from that. So you're being mirrored with what you did in the womb. It's so powerful and so simple. It's just so beautiful, really.
Amazing.
So the data we're all of that is fun.
Yay.
That's just one of the things that we've been doing this year.
Yeah. Raising the vibration though, isn't it? With every little thing that we do. So on Monday we launched the Wellbeing Choir, and within minutes people are already smiling and feeling better in that safe space. So
and I'd really like to encourage people, Jackie, in these places where people are so beautifully raising the vibration, I'm putting something together for people to be able to download a document so that you can douse the room before and after your events, and then send us that data, and we're going to start collecting that data on your behalf. But that's something that you can all be doing in your rooms, because what we noticed just with the tiny little yawnathons that we were doing, we were raising the vibration of the room. I know I've got the weirder scope, which is another, added benefit, but actually very simple pendulum and dowsing rods can do the same thing. And it shows remarkable contrast throughout the day as to where you started and where you end up.
It's like what Lisa said about the ripple effect.
Yeah, and we start to do that together, Paula. We've actually got some very interesting data to go with the work that we're doing. And we need that data now to prove that actually the well-being stuff that we're doing is knocking everything else out of the water, basically. And we are changing water samples as well. So we're going to be teaching people to do the water samples as well. Because you're all doing it. You're all changing the environments that you're working in. We just don't know how to measure it yet. So we're going to be helping you all with that.
Amazing.
And the interesting thing, isn't it, that the simplicity of it is, and me and Rachel have spoken about this, is going back to the land and doing the traditional methods that we've always had. We've always had them, but we I guess took them for granted until they started to change, and we didn't use them anymore. And so this is the wonderful thing, is I feel like we're almost going back to the traditions that we had for centuries, and that's what we need. We need community. Was always, in many countries still is, but I think in Western countries we've lost it. But it's coming back because we're making it come back.
It is, Jackie, and all we need is a very simple system that everybody is knowing what to do anyway. And all that Live for Energy we're going to do is give people a very simple system for us all to follow, so that there becomes a protocol of us testing our holistic well-being processes that can be done on the ground with a simple piece of paper to write on. It doesn't need an iPad. It doesn't need technology. We can do that. And then that can be typed up after when people have time, or just taken a photograph, instead of everything having to have got to download another app, which drains us. Keeping these simple little techniques, but that will still involve everybody, is very important.
Yeah.
Isn't that the key? You can involve everybody and no one is left behind when we do it like this. It's not some suddenly highfalutin and we've got to do this, do that, and do the other. Everyone, every single one of us is involved and all equal. And the contribution is magnificent, isn't it? Lisa, so what's next with you? Tell us what's happening.
We keep our focus on community. I think we're coming towards the end of the first ever UK National Community Week, and next year I think we'll probably aim to roll this out in other countries where PHA has a presence. So we've got Australia, New Zealand, North America, Spain, Portugal.
Lisa, can I ask, in other countries, so we have a real disconnect, I feel, and I think that's noticeable in the UK. Are other countries feeling that disconnect as well?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, very much so. Because at the end of the day, the agenda hasn't changed from country to country. It's always been the same, hasn't it? I think countries have been maybe targeted in different areas of that agenda to test the market, but generally it's division all the way, isn't it? And I mean, this is nothing new. This is something that a sociologist, Ray Oldenburg, back in 1989 wrote a book called The Great Good Place, and that was about third places and how they are eroding. And you know, third places, your first being home, second being work, third places are where people go to feel they belong, they're part of something, they're not isolated, and these have been diminishing since the 80s. You know, you've got urban sprawl, you've got technology, more people are spending time at home, working from home. COVID obviously accelerated the pace as a lot of high street businesses closed down, cafes, pubs, the places that people just go to get that feeling of connection, that sense of belonging. So we are becoming more and more isolated. And you only have to have a look at the mental health stats. You know, this is the real pandemic. It's that is
Absolutely.
sweeping not just our nation, but globally. You know, I mean, in 2024, the Office of National Statistics reported that 8 million people felt often or always lonely. I mean, it's just horrendous. It gives me goosebumps just seeing that, because it's such a hideous statistic. And if you extrapolate that across the globe, you know, what's going on is just horrendous. Suicide rates, as we know, are up, particularly in the youth.
Yes.
You know, demand for services continues to outstrip supply. You know, and then you've got social division. So more immigration, you know, more fragmentation within local settings. I sound like a real doom and gloomer, don't I?
No.
But I'm not. I'm very positive. But I'm very positive that the
Realistic,
simple
isn't it?
solution is community and bridging those gaps that are being created intentionally. So, you know, we've got to choose, haven't we? We've got to make it. Not taking action, to me, it's just not an option.
No.
We have to
Yeah.
choose community over isolation, and we have to choose, you know, connection over our screens. And that's
think
the only way
it's
we're going to heal.
I think it's important to remember as well that there doesn't have to be resistance around that connection. So when I'm talking about that, we've all got different views on things that are happening in the world, but we all still need that connection. So differing views doesn't need to cause divide if we can talk about it in a helpful way, and if we're constructive, if we're still keeping those connections. I've got people from all walks of life that are friends with me, and I'll have discussions with them about what my views are, but it doesn't need to spiral. I'm so sorry if there's noise. The cat is here and she's in heat. So sorry. That's great for a podcast. But it doesn't need to spiral into arguments or issues, does it?
No, you've got to
And
find common ground. And I
having those
think
open communities is key.
absolutely,
No.
definitely.
Well,
You know,
I
and
think one of
I think
sorry, if I
it's
just like to add
I
into
think,
you,
don't
Lisa,
you think
one of the
what
things
I
that you're
know?
encouraging is the conversation. And I think one of the things that we have been missing is debate, open debate, and how to debate and how to converse and how to feel safe in that environment. And that can only be done with practice.
yeah, absolutely. No, I agree.
Yeah.
But you
And
know,
there's boundaries in place, don't you think?
people
I
have
think, you
to.
know, we need boundaries, and that's what's been lost. But that was deliberate, wasn't it? So you talked about the agenda for people who are listening, who perhaps well, there is the Agenda 30, which is well known, and the government around the world are going for Agenda 30. And the big thing that I think has moved since the beginning of 25 to where we are now is that many of people, like myself, you know, we're very, very well aware what the agenda is, but now we're moving on and taking control of our own agenda. And our own agenda is, you know, root connections, as always, add the three C's: connection, collaboration, and community.
Yeah.
That's the three things that we need to focus on. And but now we've always focused on that, but there was a lot of noise and chaos going on behind the scenes. There still is, but now I think we all feel a bit of a brighter future. There's been a shift astrologically anyway, and so we're in a better place to move forward. I would sum the year up like that, really. Would you agree with that? Rachel, I'll go to you. Would you agree that, there is a more hope, more brighter feeling in your communities that you work with?
Well, I live in a life of awe and wonder and miracles, I think nearly every day now. So when you're living a life that is like that, and I'll give you an example of what that actually means. So I teach children to read blindfolded. So they wear a blindfold and they read without their eyes, and they learn to see without their eyes. And this is an ICU program that is being shown on Superhuman on Gaia TV. It's on Netflix, and I was taught by Nicola Farmer. But this is now happening on a huge level in India with the Art of Living program. And they've taken thousands, 80,000 children through these programs. And the children are telepathic, they are seeing literally without their eyes, they are moving objects, they are the magicians that we see on the television, but these children are using it for educational purposes. And that's what I'm teaching the children to do. So I've just recently taught a 6-year-old who was faster than the 10 and 11-year-olds because they have less baggage, they have less resistance. So we've been playing games. It's happened so quickly for them to do this that the Christmas games that you see of people putting cups down and then they're going collecting the cups and they're putting them in a basket. So I've had 2 children doing that with blindfolds on. And to them, it is so normal. It is so normal. That is their norm. But they're using it as well for spelling tests. So they're doing their revision with the spelling test. And then when it comes to the test, they're getting 10 out of 10 because their attainment value is so spot on.
Yeah.
So when we start to do things in a completely different way and turn things upside down and inside out, like the yawn, we talk about that as if we're bored and exhausted and can't be bothered. But actually, if we turn that upside down, it creates hope, creativity, and possibility. If we can put a blindfold on and we can be taught to read blindfolded and see without our eyes, what else can we do?
And it's things like that. They've always been there. They're there from when we're born. We're just kind of conditioned to forget. And it's like a remembering more than anything. And that's what you're guiding someone to remember.
And it's a refocusing. So everything that you've been talking about, Jackie and Paula and Lisa, it's this refocusing of our wants and needs. And the elite have always done it. Their focus has always been very clear. So they've always taught their children to debate. It just never filtered through to us because we weren't in those schools, because those teachers weren't in our schools. So it's not that it's never been there. It's always been there. And yes, there's been a divide, but because we're living in actual abundance and we don't realize we are living here in the West in abundance, we really are. We can now, because our basic needs for the majority are met, and people are now coming to our country because their basic needs are not met. So this abundant country that we are living in, it is for us all to share, is for us all to pay it forward, in my view. And when we learn to pay it forward faster and faster and faster, because we are vibrating at that higher level now, which I think so many of us are now, that we're able en masse to be doing this, which is the exciting part. It's like, how can this not be exciting? En masse we're doing this. But in tiny, small groups in our own individual ways. So now when I'm taking adults out onto the land and we're using ancient sites in small groups to collect this social data, and there's yawning going on all the time as people are transitioning, but we're collecting and dowsing the land, we're collecting the shifts of the water that we are changing as we're doing the work, and the journal notes. And this will be our 5th month this month of data that we've collected as we're doing the work. And the profound information that I'm not teaching anybody what to do. You all know it. You're just sharing with me what you already know, and I'm documenting it. But from that, there is a massive learning within that group, massive downloads, massive shifts of one day a month, shifting people tenfold over the year. Because we're doing it in nature, we're doing it at sites that have got a very high vibration. So when we put it all together, we're shifting faster and faster and faster.
Yeah.
So my life is so exciting. I want everyone to live like that.
And we will. And with, with
Yeah.
all help, it's moving forward, isn't it? And I went on Rachel's first one, didn't I? And I mean, it is just incredible what you feel. And when you start remembering, and Paula first mentioned that, we are remembering. And I think that is a big takeaway from 2025, is that we are remembering who we are, and we're very powerful beings, every single one of us. And I think our jumps as light carriers that's not an arrogant thing. I used to didn't want to say that, but yeah, we are light carriers because we have remembered who we are. Therefore, we have to show the light for everybody else that they individually are very powerful beings. And this is how the world's going to change. And I'm getting shivers down my spine as I'm saying that, because that is exactly what each and every one of us are doing. And there's many, many more of us. And I have to say, and it has been written, that I will say it, the women in the northwest of UK particularly will be driving forward, and that's not an arrogant thing. And I don't particularly know why the northwest, but there is a lot, isn't there, as Rachel will say, about the ley lines, the energy lines that run through our amazing, amazing part of the world. And that's what's really exciting, isn't it? The things that we've got to do now for 26. Wow. And understanding about the pineal gland, I think is very important, is that why we have to detox, decalcify, so that we can see clearly who we are. Lisa, what do you think about that? Who are you, Lisa Dunnington?
Who am I? Who am I? I don't know. I'm somebody on a mission.
You're a woman on a mission, for sure. For sure.
I felt it probably all my life, but I have had a little dumbed down period in the middle where I was raising children and had postnatal depression and ended up on antidepressants for a period, and then found myself again. So I think, what I want to make sure is we're doing here, there's a lot being thrown at us, one after the other thing at the moment, and have been for the last 5 years, but people are starting to wake up, that realizing that all is not well with the world, and it may be just one thing that triggers that. There's enough things to pick from, aren't there, that we're being bombarded with, but something will resonate with somebody. And we've got, that process of waking up and realizing actually the world isn't what I thought it was, is not dangerous, a scary place to be. And that's why we've got to have this community growth, coming together, because we need safety nets for people. We need to be able to catch them and offer them that safe space to actually explore what's going on. So, you know, for me, I just think that that's really key to moving forward, because it is happening. That awakening is happening. It's speeding up. It looks different for everybody, but let's protect people, give them a safe space, help them to deal with what they're seeing, and turn that almost fear, I guess, or anger in some cases, into something really positive that can help to build the future we want to create for our children and future generations. And you know, I think we've got a really important part to play in doing this. You're right, that Lancashire seems to be a real hotbed of people just wanting to help push through that change and create new ways. And a lot of creating new ways is going back to old ways, as you said earlier. You know, we need to get back to the land. We need to teach our young people how to be self-sustainable, how to farm, grow their own food, you know, sovereignty, looking at well-being from a root cause and prevention point of view. All of these things, you know, protecting those that are more vulnerable within our communities. So I think, you know, education is really key. I think collaboration. Sorry, I'm waffling. Oh, you've got me started now. Collaboration. There's some amazing organizations and individuals doing really great stuff, but they're here, there, and everywhere. You know, we all need to be doing it together. Let's not reinvent the wheel. Let's share resources and knowledge.
Exactly.
And make it a true collaboration, because collaboration is a word that's thrown out there very easily, isn't it? And actually, I look at some collaborations that I've made through PHA with others, and it's more a case of, can you promote this for me? It's a two-way street, and I want to see people truly collaborating. Leave the ego at the door. You know, anything, any knowledge you've got, any resources should be there for everybody. You don't need your name on things. Let's just do it together.
Yeah.
True collaboration. So I don't know where we went from A to B on that one, but
No, that's good. And it's all very, very valid, isn't it? That each and every one of us here are big collaborators. And, you know, our ego is left at the door. And you know, I personally don't care what name is on whatever project we're doing, as long as we're doing it and we're doing it fast. But you know,
you see,
we've all got
I'm going to butt in there, because I do think it's important that we honour the sovereignty of where things have come from, whether that is from the root of the land or whether that is the root of someone's personal journey in bringing something forward that is new and to be delivered. And I think that is what is lost, that honouring of each process that is being gifted to the collective. Because if it is being brought to the collective, that's taken somebody a lifetime to get there. That's taken them a lifetime of anguish and work and their own personal journey. And I'm not going to negate that. I'm going to celebrate that with that person, with that journey, with that organisation.
Oh, yeah.
And I think if we can bring that in behind that to me is the bit that's missing. That true honouring of, Jackie, you've spent years of collaborating with others that have used your skills to their best advantage. And you haven't gained personally in many ways from that, and yet you have in so many other ways grown because of the journey that it's taken you on. And Lisa, that those collaborations that you've had, that we know other people may want something from you, it's taken you in such a wide circle of probably around the globe now, isn't it? Because you've got those connections around the globe of what it's brought back to you. And Paula, you're traveling all over the place with everything that you're doing. So it's like this global connection that is coming together that is so profound and powerful. that it's important that we celebrate that. It's important that we don't forget to celebrate everything that's been brought in.
I
And to
agree
me,
completely.
sometimes that bit is lacking a little bit
Yeah.
I think
because it's taking so much energy to do it all. We're forgetting to celebrate as well.
absolutely, and I think I think it all comes back to intention, doesn't it? And heartfelt intention
Yeah.
in what
Yeah.
you're doing, why you're doing it. But absolutely agree that, people should be recognized for the great work they're doing. Nobody's saying otherwise. I think like when we get into our communities, it's about service to others, isn't it? But also you still need that sense of belonging yourself. So yeah, for me, it's just got to be a two-way street. If we're going to make change, that collaboration needs to be a two-way street, not a one-way
Yeah.
one.
Comes with the boundaries again, doesn't it? That what I meant, Rachel, when I meant is that I really still don't care about having my name on things, because as long as I can see stuff happening, and that is, it's not reward enough because I need to survive as well, and live, which I do have such faith in the divine, if I'm honest, that, and I have been looked after. My friend, she always says, but she said, Jackie, you live off fresh air and sprinkles. But basically, what she means by that is I've had a brilliant year, actually. It's been a wild, wild, crazy one, but it's been a brilliant year, and I have lived off fresh air. But because of my faith in the divine, but that shouldn't be, should it? It should be we are all abundant, and I have a lot to learn in that respect as well. Is that all our talents, and I think the connect the dots is like, Rachel, your talents are different to my talents, to Lisa's, to Paula's. We've all got incredibly insane talents, and four of us, just the four of us here, bringing it together it's just such a massive bowl of energy. I think that's what I meant by that. Not that we have to just give it away meaninglessly, which I probably have in the past. But yeah, it is incredible. But Paula, I wanted you to bring you in with what you're doing. Paula has so many talents, and she doesn't always showcase, and but she does so much for so many people. But what you've been doing this year, or in the latter 6 months, is the travel, which I know that every single one of us here really values that. So just give us a little bit of what you're doing with your travel.
Yeah, well, with travel, I believe that travel shouldn't be reserved for the rich. The whole world is ours for the taking. We have, it's our birthright to be able to go and see the world. And we talk about being connected to the earth. I'm so sorry about the background noise. And why should we not? But the thing is, the way that things are set up right now, we don't have the money necessarily. Some people don't have the money to travel in the way that they choose to. So I basically host a platform that allows you to travel affordably. But I think it's really important, more so, like it's changed my life. I've saved thousands and thousands of pounds being a single mum traveling with four children. It's been an absolute game changer. But what it's given me more than anything, and it comes back again, is community. So the way that I use my travel platform, I'll go away with my children and we really cement those bonds, and we have adventures, and it's magical. But I also get the option to go and meet people from all around the world that are on the same mission as me. And when you are in the rooms that people have the same vision, you guys know all of this because I'm surrounded by you anyway. But when you're on that same mission, when you've got that same vision for the world, that is when things happen. So I'm sharing this far and wide in terms of how the travel stuff works because it improves your mental health. it's scientifically proven to release those happy hormones when you're just looking forward to a trip, when you're just looking at booking one, when you know something's coming up. It's like, oh, wow, I'm going to get the chance to go and broaden my mind. I'm going to get the chance to see new cultures. And we talk about that disconnect. Like you said, Lisa, it's all over the world. This is another element in how we can reconnect with the world. So I'm absolutely loving the journey.
Yeah, and it is, I totally agree. For me, traveling has been my biggest education. And, traveling with my son as a single parent, and we went all over the place, and how it's shaped his life and what he's doing at 22 now, I think is far advanced than someone that hasn't traveled. I put that as a priority. And I would do it again, most definitely. So yeah, we look forward to more updates and how we can get involved with the travel.
Absolutely.
I
I
think
just
it's
want to,
interesting,
sorry.
Paula, that you said, it's a birthright. It is. And I always say, good health shouldn't be a privilege, it's a birthright. And it's the same thing. And this is the challenge we face as we move into the new way of doing things, is making sure that nobody slips through the net, that these birthrights are available to everybody, and financial constraints, etc., shouldn't exclude anybody. That's the challenge, I think, is making sure that everybody has the abundance, or
Yeah.
knows that they have the
Yeah.
abundance.
I would love to
Paula, I do want
see.
to talk to you a little bit more about that, because moving into 2026, obviously the sites that we're interested in going into in the next few years are going to be abroad. So I do want to talk to you about that, please.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much going on, isn't there? And I think it gives people an opportunity for a different perspective. We get very owned in on what's going on in our own little lives. For a lot of people, they don't know about other cultures and why other cultures are the way they are, and that's really important, isn't it?
I think
And
that adds to the divide that we've got going on. I mean, you see it every day, don't you? And if you're able to get immersed in cultures that you're unfamiliar with, then you've got more acceptance. So it
yeah,
just makes sense to go and experience these things, doesn't it?
yeah, that's beautiful. Kind of, what I wanted to bring in was Chinese astrology, because I think it's been particularly poignant. At least I think so. This year, 2025, has been the year of the snake, and that represents shedding. So snakes shed the skin, and that is really talking to so many people. So many people have been on a massive journey this year, shedding their skin, remembering who they are, and that's why we're ending the year with going into something very, very exciting, which 2026 in Chinese astrology is the year of the fire horse, which is very, very different. It's galloping in and transformations happening so fast. I'm already seeing this, and I spoke to Rachel yesterday. She's already seeing it, that we're already more than trotting into 2026. So I just wanted to ask, and I'll go with Lisa first, is what is your personal shedding experience in 2025, and what you aspiring to move very fast with in 26 as a year of the horse?
Let me just unmute the dogs. We're having a little bark then. What have I been shedding this year? I think I have set more boundaries for myself in terms of not trying to please everybody all of the time, but really focusing in on what matters, not just for me, but for my community, for the wider community, for the plans for the new earth, for the future. But really being a little bit more careful about, because you just end up spreading yourself so thin, don't you? And there's a lot of people suffering burnout at the moment, and I think we've really got to protect our energy as we move forward. So that's what I've been shedding. And what was the second part into 2026? What am I
Galloping into 26? What are your aspirations to move, your transformations that you'd like to see moving into 26?
Gosh, I'd like to continue to focus my attention, and I know, and I'm speaking for PHA here, on community. It's what it's all about. Creating safe places for people, regrowing those healthy communities, but also I would like to. I always say, put your money where your mouth is. So we talk about doing things, but I like to be doing it myself. So very excited to hopefully bring a community hub to Lancashire in 2026. It'll be a safe place. It'll be a place to learn, educate, come together, teach those things that we need going forward, and inspire others, I think, to do the same in their areas. But I think that's going to be a personal vision for 2026. So yeah, I'm excited.
You should be. It's huge. It's absolutely huge. And I know how hard you work, Lisa. Congratulations on that. And, we don't get told enough how amazing, but you've done some amazing work. So well done, you.
Thank you. We're not over the line yet, but we
no, but it's not even that.
It's already happened, hasn't it? I know it's already happened. So
yeah, it's already happening. Paula, what about you?
So, for me, 2025 has been about shedding that fear of judgment from other people. I was with Rachel in March at a massive business conference, that was more like a party. And we were on the dance floor with Doc Guan as the DJ, and I was dancing. And I've not done that for a long time, you know. So I'm dropping that fear of judgment. And why does the cat start every time I speak? I'm so sorry.
I can't hear
I
it.
hear it.
But you know, that's good. So I'm talking about nothing here, right? So that's all good. So yeah, and it's always been, judgment has always been something that appears and then disappears, and then I'm like on top of my game, and I don't care, and then it creeps back in. So I've really turned a corner with that. When it starts to creep in, I'm dropping it. I'm dropping it. It's not an issue anymore. Going into 2026, for me, it's about freedom and helping people find their freedom. So whether it's about financial freedom, whether it's about emotional freedom, anything that looks like freedom for them, that's where I'm going to be going and guiding them to. And I always say, knowledge is power, awareness is freedom, and travel is living. And I'm going to be doing a lot more traveling as well. So do watch this space.
Exciting, Paula. And yet again, you do amazing things, raise 4 kids on your own, and do all of these things for everybody else. Well done, you. Well done, you. Rachel.
Well, I'm going to connect the dots, because everything that Lisa and Paula has said is exactly what I've been shedding. And I've been shedding not owning all my weird bits, and that's weird with a Y. And that Y, WYRD, and it means owning your own supernatural. And that's the Anglo-Saxon version of what weird means. So I'm happy to be weird. You can call me weird, and I'm encouraging everybody to own their weird and embrace it in every single situation that you can. And again, to turn everything upside down and inside out with all the meanings that have been transposed over the years. And I suppose that's what I'm galloping into 2026 with, owning my weird, encouraging everyone to own their weird, and transition it into something different. Turn it upside down, turn it inside out, gallop upside down, do it on your back, slide a bit, get in the mud a bit. It's where all the fun is anyway. So let's do it together.
I love that.
And go and travel at the same time. So yeah, it's getting to the ancient sites. It's taking the kids and starting up a proper academy and have a place where we can actually have a hub, I suppose, and the kids can come and go. The yawning will be there throughout it all, and then we can go out onto the land together and do all that work as well. And then Paula can take us on some flights to the places that we want to go to.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
sort out all our travel, hopefully. So it's all coming together quite nicely. Thank you.
Well, that's so exciting, and I just want to say that I want every part of that as well, and so I'm diving straight away and say that because it's also necessary, it's also important. And Rachel, also, you're superwoman. I'm not just saying this because I've got you guys on here. You really are, and you're moving it forward. You're showing the light. You're absolute light bearers, all three of you, and that's what we need, isn't it? Show people where to go. And I think when we're talking like this, and I'm smiling naturally here, just because I feel the vibration, and that's what it happens, isn't it? It's a knock-on effect, the domino effect. Everyone's going to want a piece of it because that's what we've got to do now, isn't it? My personal shedding has been very much like you guys. I've been really putting my boundaries in, which I've always found quite difficult. But I really have, and I've stood my ground, and it's been very uncomfortable, and I didn't like it, and I don't like it. But the way things are working out, I'm getting more respect for it, and that's what we all need to do. We need to put our boundaries in, what we know is right, the way we want to be treated, isn't it? And so for 2026, I'm already I'm cantering in, and everything that everybody said, oh, I want all of it. And why not? I'm more than capable. I've been working on my own well-being this year with the detox programs that I do. I'm feeling so energetic. And I want everyone to feel like that as well, because that's what health feels like, the vibrance, that's abundance. I've already got it, haven't I? I don't need anything else, because that's the real wealth, is my health, and I've got it. And I've got the most amazing people around me, and let's keep it going, guys.
Jackie, you bring so much light as well. Any time that I'm around you, I feel energized. I feel so at peace. So we're light bringers here, but so are you, in abundance. So thank you for everything that you do.
Well, thank you. And thank you. And I think we've come on dead on 11 o'clock, guys. How amazing is that? To complete the last podcast of 2025. I can't wait for 2026. In fact, yes, I can, but I'm enjoying the moment. I'm being in the present. But I know it's going to be a good one. And we're not just saying that. We just want to make it so. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Rachel. Paula, amazing. Let's move forward. Let's keep doing this. Let's keep bringing the light to everybody who's listening today or tomorrow, whenever you're listening to this. Just there's going to be times when you're not feeling great. That's okay. That's okay. But then just keep reaching for the light. Keep reaching out for the energy, because we help each other, because we all feel the light goes down a little bit, and then we reach for each other. And that's what it's all about, holding each other's hand. And that's what real collaboration is. We're helping each other, isn't it? Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
We will connect the dots. It's National Community Week. Let's move forward. Thank you.
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.